Greetings everyone, Sylvain Dance Dave back at you with another reaction. We're looking at the complete history of Metal Hero from 1982 to 2019, featuring the Beetleborgs, sorry. So yeah, let's check this out. I didn't know the Beetleborgs were considered a metal hero. The more you know. So let's check these guys out.
Throughout its 40-year history, Metal Hero has experienced a rise and fall like no other Toku show. Combining armored heroes with sci-fi and police elements, Metal Hero would help define Toku throughout the 80s and 90s. This video is going to cover every single season of Metal Hero, as well as the important crossovers and even the American adaptations like VR Troopers and Beetleborgs. So sit back and relax.
Jeez, I still remember that one.
This is the complete history of Metal Hero. 1982 would see the release of Uchu Keiji Gavin, or Space Sheriff Gavin. This was the inaugural season of what would eventually be known as the Metal Hero franchise. Heavily inspired by Star Wars, the creation of Gavin was the result of Toei wanting to introduce a new solo hero that wasn't a Kamen Rider and didn't require kids to know any backstory in order to jump in and enjoy.
Fair enough.
In pre-production, Toei considered a lot of different names, such as Space Detective Z, Ginjiro, and Ginbird. However, Toei would settle on the name Gavin, named after a French actor named Jean Gabin. This made it much easier for Toei to copyright the name due to it being non-Japanese.
Well, there we go.
Toei would cast the legendary Kinji Oba as Gavin, famous for his roles in Battle Fever J and Dingy Man, and he would don a unique chrome suit that would become iconic over time. Gavin was a member of Galactic Union Police, an organization of space cops, and he was trained on planet Bird before traveling to Earth in an effort to stop the Maku Empire. Gavin was quite successful and would kick off the Metal Hero series in a big and bold way.
I mean, given how he has all those crossovers with Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, yeah, I could see that.
In 1983, Toei released the direct sequel series to Gavin with Uchu Keiji Sharavan, or Space Sheriff Sharavan. This show would see Gavin be promoted to captain of the Galactic Union Police, while Din Iga, his successor, would Henshin into Sharavan and become the new protector of Earth. As a sequel series, Sharavan featured a lot of characters and story elements from Gavin, while Sharavan himself would sport a sleek new red suit design that fit perfectly within this universe. Sharavan teamed up with Lily as they would continue the effort to protect Earth. Sharavan was a worthy sequel to Gavin and did a great job at giving this universe a fresh coat of paint.
I mean, given how the suit got a fresh coat, yeah, it makes sense.
1984 brought us the third and final show in the Space Sheriff series with Uchu Keiji Scheider, or Space Sheriff Scheider. Dai Sawamura, or Scheider, played by the late Hiroshi Tsuburaya, was a native of Earth who would take on the role of Earth's protector, and he featured a new blue color scheme to differentiate him from his predecessors. For those of you wondering, yes, Hiroshi Tsuburaya, the man who played Scheider, is the grandson of the absolutely legendary Eiji Tsuburaya, co-creator of Ultraman and Godzilla, and one of the most important people in the history of Toku.
Well then.
As for Scheider, this series and its namesake were both excellent additions to what was quickly becoming a full-fledged franchise.
Heck, I'll bet you if they kept on with the Space Sheriff saga, it'd be called the Space Sheriff franchise instead of the Metal Hero franchise.
1984 would also deliver the first ever movie in the Metal Hero franchise with Scheider the Movie. Taking place between episodes 19 and 20, this project would bring Space Sheriff's excitement and signature sci-fi style to the big screen. This movie featured a suspenseful rescue operation that was Scheider's biggest adventure yet, and a lot of villains were featured, making this a memorable chapter in Metal Hero's legacy.
Sounds like a movie I might need to check out.
In 1985, Toei introduced us to Kyoju Tokuso Juspion, or Mega Beast Investigator Juspion, the first Metal Hero show without the Uchu Keiji tagline, marking the start of a new era for the franchise.
And of course, he's got a giant robot.
Juspion would retain many elements of its predecessors, with some unique additions to the formula, like his Robo Dailion. Juspion's parents were killed before he was adopted by Aging, and he learns of a prophecy where the world will be destroyed by Mega Beasts once Satan Gorth awakens. Juspion would travel from planet to planet as he battled Satan Gorth and the Mega Beasts in his special armor made from a rare mineral called Agenium. The name Juspion is a combination of the English words justice and champion. 1986 saw the release of Ziku Senshi Spielbahn, or Space Time Warrior Spielbahn. Featuring multiple metal heroes in Spielbahn, Diana, and Helen, the series continued with a similar tone to the previous seasons, and in Brazil it was actually marketed as a sequel to Just Beyond named Just Beyond 2, Spielbahn.
The more you know.
Spielbahn even featured the legend herself, Machiko Soga, as Queen Pandora, not to be confused with Witch Bandora. Spielbahn even featured a lot of sound effects that
Yeah, don't need to confuse those two.
were used in Dragon Ball, probably because Toei made both shows around the same time. Spielbahn took chances with the formula, while still retaining the Metal Hero feel that fans had grown accustomed to. Metal Hero returned in 1987 with a new hero inspired by the legendary android Kikaider. This was Chojiki Metalder, or Superhuman Machine Metalder. Featuring a sleek red and blue aesthetic, Metalder was an android created at the end of World War II, who was inactive until the Neros Empire would invade Earth. This series incorporated a darker tone and story than previous seasons, and the ratings would drop in response. Due to the lower ratings, Metalder would only reach 39 episodes, making it the shortest series in the franchise.
That's sad. Sounds like it has potential.
1988 saw the release of Sekai Ninja Sin Jiraiya, or World Ninja Jiraiya, a unique new ninja theme take on the Metal Hero franchise. Contrasting starkly with its tech and science fiction themed predecessors, Jiraiya would focus on ninja, as well as other Japanese themes that would really set it apart from previous seasons. Throughout the show, we would be introduced to many different ninja masters, and even samurai, making for a really interesting hybrid of old school Japan and typical Metal Hero themes. Due to the fresh and creative approach that Toei took when creating Jiraiya, it really opened up the door for what the Metal Hero franchise could be in the future. '89 brought us Kido Keiji Jiban, or Mobocop Jiban. Being the first Metal Hero show of the Heisei era, this project was heavily inspired by the 1970s Toku show Robot Detective, as well as the American film RoboCop, with many similarities in both the premise and general style.
Yeah, I can see that.
Our hero,
Giant spike out of the hand. Yeah, I can see that.
Naoto Tamura, is a rookie police officer who's tragically killed while on duty before being turned into Jiban. Jiban offered fans another cop-themed hero, although with a grittier premise that was ripped straight from Hollywood. 1990 brought us Tokei Windspector, or Special Rescue Police Windspector, featuring an armored human codenamed Fire and his robot allies. Windspector took place in 1999, the near future at the time, and would kick off the Special Rescue subseries within the franchise. This show was also the first one that was titled after a team, instead of an individual hero. Interestingly enough, Windspector would recycle most of its music from Metalder.
Dang, a Gatling laser? This is one I have to check out then.
Windspector featured realistic premises and intense action mixed with fantasy elements, making for a really dynamic combination. Windspector's unique formula would prove to be extremely successful with fans. In 1991, Metal Hero fans were treated to Windspector's sequel series, Tokyo Shirei Soulbrain, or Special Rescue Command Soulbrain, a direct sequel to Windspector that would continue the Special Rescue subseries.
I mean, it looks pretty dang fun, I gotta tell you that much.
Soulbrain would focus on some new human teammates and a form-changing robot named Souldozer, before Fire from Windspector would return later in the season as Nightfire. Soulbrain would continue the success of Windspector and lead to yet another sequel series the following year. 1992 saw the release of the final series in the Rescue Police subseries with Tokusou Exceed Draft, or Special Rescue Exceed Draft. Exceed Draft featured an all-male team with a slightly different tone and story than the other Special Police series. This was due to the show being originally titled Kinkyu Shirei Triangler, with the intent to make it completely separate from its predecessors. This was evident by the story being largely unconnected to previous seasons, until characters and elements from Windspector and Soulbrain would return later on.
Got it.
Exceed Draft paid homage to previous seasons and looked forward to the future of Metal Hero at the same time.
Looks like it.
You asked for it and it's here. Introducing the Shogunate, the official Acrimony Discord, a chill place to hang out and talk about anime, gaming, and of course all things Toku. You can even drop me content ideas and be a part of some exclusive streams. So if that sounds cool, join up today. Link is in the description.
I'm part of that.
Jumpasun fights for justice!
After the conclusion of the Special Rescue trilogy, Metal Hero would return in 1993 with Tokusou Robo Jan-Person, or Special Investigation Robo Jan-Person.
Such.
Jan-Person features a slick purple robot hero who takes on crime in Japan and uses technology to his advantage. Reminiscent of Jiban, Jan-Person would also feature mini callbacks to other previous seasons, with tons of classic actors returning for guest appearances and heavily leaning on previous successes within the series in terms of tone and theme. Despite its somewhat derivative nature, Jan-Person was a cool and entertaining take on the Metal Hero franchise. 1994 brought Metal Hero fans a more realistic and gritty take on the formula with Blue SWAT. Blue SWAT would emphasize realistic elements with a focus on weaponry and hand-to-hand combat. This approach was received well by older longtime fans, but kids and parents were turned off by it, which resulted in a tone shift halfway through the season, with a new character being added as well. This show is unique in that the heroes are referred to by the same name while Henshin and non-Henshin. Blue SWAT brought a fresh new tone, and although it wasn't the most successful series in the franchise, a certain portion of the Toku fandom still holds this show in high regard.
Sounds like it.
Also in 1994, Toei would release a film called Toei Hero Daishugo, a team-up film featuring Blue SWAT, Jan-Person, and mini Super Sentai teams. The project was shown as a triple feature alongside Super Sentai and Kamen Rider World, and was shown primarily at theme parks throughout Japan. Although this project was small, it was a cool team-up at a time when these characters were yet to really intermingle very much.
Sounds like a show I'd have to check out. Anywho, yeah, I think I'll stop there. That was pretty good background for how it is. I definitely got a couple new shows to try out for the Metal Hero franchise. Like Windspectre, Jiraiya, yeah, I got a few to check out. Alongside the original Gavan and everything, so yeah. Definitely checking those guys out when I get the chance. But, for now, please like, comment, subscribe down below, comment, and let me know if you guys have any requests for anything you want to see me react to. And we'll see how things go from here. In the meantime, you guys take care. I'll see you all in the next video as we go on to part 2 of this next time. Bye!